Well, let's talk about retention and referrals.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, first of all, you always want to write good business and make sure people understand that there's many ways to use their service. And what do you do, Paul?
Oh, absolutely. Well, first off, I would say the best way to the best way to get people to use the service is for you to use the service. So I think one thing that I do is I always use the attorneys and the law firm as much as possible, and even the identity shield, and then so that way I'm always test marketing everything that we're promoting. That way I know, and then also that way I have plenty of stories of how the program works, and if they change something up, I want to be in front of it. And so I would say becoming a product of the product is the best way to encourage others to use the service, because sometimes if you're in the um, in the business solution space, that's pretty much all we do. We just tell stories, and then a lot of times, and I'm sure you can agree, Karen, is you'll get somebody that'll come back and say, "Oh man, that just happened to me. I just had that happen to me, or I just got a speeding ticket myself, or something along those lines." And you'll be able to people will relate to you based on how you've used the service. Or, man, that happened to me. I don't know how many times I've heard, where were you 2 years ago? Where were you 6 months ago? Where were you? And it's because you're doing a good job by using the service so that they can come back. And that's how the retention works. All of us on this call, I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir, should have all gotten your last will and testaments done and possibly updated. Maybe it's been a while since you've done that, but that's what I'll say about that. Make sure that you're doing those things so you know how the process works. How do I get my will done? Well, let me tell you exactly how that works. I just got mine done, like that. But
Mhm.
that's what I would say. Yes, Karen.
I agree. If you don't get your will done, people don't, follow your lead. And also, one of the other things that I always ask for is someone's not interested, I always ask for referrals. Like, who do you know that has children? Who do you know that has a business? Who do you know that works for a company? That kind of thing. And I've gotten, if you go to Shield Nation, you can listen to Darcy Hoffman talking about people who ask for referrals get 3 times more business. And it's a really good overview. So anyway, does anybody have anything that they want to add to this?
I'd like to
Kelvin,
have something to say.
yes.
Yes, I was just waiting for my will to be notarized, and I took it over to a notary, and we had the witnesses. Everybody did their blocks and did their dates and addresses, and when it turned to the notary's part, it happened to be 10 minutes to 5 on Friday, and she wasn't very adept at reading. She wanted to start writing first, and she wrote down 2 witnesses' names on the same line, which was incorrect. Then she decided to put my name on one of the witnesses' lines. So bottom line, I should have waited till tomorrow or Wednesday to have her take care of that. So I'm going to have to go back to the law firm and have them either send me out that page 5 or the whole thing. I don't know what they are going to decide to do, but that's very important that we put a little tag or something for the notary, because a lot of them are busy and they just don't take the time to read what they're supposed to read, even though that's their job. So now I've got to go back and complete the whole thing because of her, not reading the
Not
will.
wanting to do it. Yeah.
So I just wanted to add that, and but yeah, the will is necessary. I'm glad I got it done. My wife and I both have had it done, so that's good. So that's
Well,
all.
I've redone mine 5 times, and last time they crossed out a line, so we have to go back and get it redone.
Right, right, absolutely. So that really means a lot to make sure that they're doing their part correctly. Thank you
Right.
so much.
I know so many people who do not get it done. I had one guy, he signed up for the service and he said, "That's superstitious." And 3 months later, he died. And his ex-wife called me and said, "Did he get his will done?" And I said, "Nope."
That's sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
And an employee benefit, every year I kept saying to the gal when I was there for the employee benefit, "Isn't it time to get your will done?" And she says, "Oh yeah, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done," for 3 years in a row. And she's going to the hospital. She calls me and says, "I got to get it done." But I can't do it right now. So what I did is she calls me from the hospital, and I went up to the hospital, and I'll never do this again. I filled everything out for her, called the law firm, told them this is going to be a rush. And her 2 nieces came in, and the gal felt like maybe I should have my nieces take it down.
Oh,
And 2 weeks later, she passed away at surgery. And her sister calls me and says, "Did they get the will done?" And I called corporate because corporate needed to call the law firm, and the 2 nieces never took it down.
oh, sad.
Yeah, so I will never do that one again.
Right.
I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm not putting my name in the will.
I don't blame you. You're right.
Yeah. And when I walked in, the sister invited me over, and as soon as I walked in, they walked out the door. Yeah. So getting your will done is a very important part of the service. Anybody else have something? Jane, go ahead.
Yes, hi Karen. Yeah, this is so important. I've heard you mention that there was a little issue and someone else, and I put it in the chat. We have to go to LS Engage, to your business links, scroll down, it's about the middle of the way down. It says why they named it Membership Assist Form, I don't know. But when you click on it, it is the attorney concern form, and that is what we fill out, and we should fill it out every time a complaint or concern comes in from a member or something that we've heard about. It's the only way. It is the third leg of our Legal Shield stool. It is the leg that lets Legal Shield know that there was something that happened with the law firm. Rather than just talking to each other among associates, nothing gets done, right?
I totally agree.
The 3 things that we have: we are affordable, we are responsive, and we hold our law firms accountable. I always have to tell my members, Legal Shield, don't blame Legal Shield. Legal Shield doesn't know any of this right now. This is something that happened with you in the law firm. We now have to let Legal Shield know so they can do their job. And then Legal Shield will contact the law firm on our behalf. It's one thing, we can also contact the law firm. I've done that before, but I still let Legal Shield know what happened. And I always make sure what you can only write very concisely. All right, my member said, in other words, letting them know I'm hearing this third party that, this and this happened, and they are very unhappy, or whatever it is. And then I send that off so that corporate sees when something goes wrong. It's just really important. So I hope that helps.
Jane, I totally agree. When I sign somebody up, I always go through a little bit of a congratulations, how to use it. And what I do is I say, if you have any problems, get hold of me. That's our job. So anybody else have anything else that they'd like to contribute? Justina, Vet, or
Well, I think that's a good comment when you're saying, when you sell it, you're telling them, if you have any problems, give me a call. But also, if you have a wonderful experience, so you want it to begin to get these testimonials and stories.
excellent.
And just a suggestion.
That is a wonderful suggestion. Get good testimonials. Okay, well, Shield Nation has 555 or more Performance Club associates, 263 executive directors, 78 six-figure ring owners, and 38 million are club members. We are a principle-centered organization where top leaders and producers are made, not born. So, some of the news is that the 49 was continued over, which is pretty amazing. When they said it was going to quit. So let's go out and find some people who really believe in what we do. Okay, Paul, anything else you want to add?
No, that was great, and I think that is some. Oh, okay, I got Bridget. Okay.
Can I share something, Paul and Karen?
Right ahead.
Tomorrow night, Melissa Wilder at 8 o'clock Eastern is doing Chat with the Pros on our new identity theft too. So people are going to want to share that with their team.
Have they upgraded the
Awesome,
ID
awesome.
theft?
It's coming up.
Okay,
And remember, starting now with Christmas buying and holidays coming, it's gonna be big. Yeah.
Awesome.
well,
Awesome.
well,
She does such a great
everybody
job
should-
too.
Yeah, she
everybody
does.
should have ID Shield, because in Oregon, we had 3.5 million IDs stolen by Russian hackers in the DMV.
Whoa.
And they have social security, date of birth, so, you know, everything. Sorry, I have a little dog in the back. And she wants to go out, but let's be back here next Monday. And thank you, Paul, for touching base with me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, not a problem. And hopefully everybody enjoyed their little holiday break there, and we'll see you guys on Monday the following week. And then don't forget, as we just heard, Melissa Peters will be doing some great training on the new ID Shield. Exciting stuff, guys. And 49.
And please remember what this holiday is about, those who served and lost their lives. I'm gonna tell one little story. My father, he was on a landing boat in the South Pacific, and his buddy got blown in half, and he was on another landing boat. And on their way back, they were playing cards, and one of the guys got up and hit his head and split his head open, committed suicide because he couldn't take it anymore. And my father never, ever talked about it. He put his head under the pillow and said, I'm not going to talk about it, until my mother passed on. And all of a sudden we heard all these stories and we had never heard. So people go through a lot of trauma. So we want to honor those who have served. Okay. With that, have a good evening.
Thanks a lot, Karen. Thank you so
Ms.
much.
Karen.
Okay.
And remember, this is Labor Day, not Memorial Day.
That's right.
I mean, not
We're
to take away.
laboring.
We're labor. Yeah. So look out for
Okay.
workers and living wages and all that good stuff. And we can labor legal shield. How about that?
That's right. Let's do it. Let's
Thank
go
you,
out
dear.
there and find people who believe in our mission.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.